What's up? What's going on? Welcome in. Happy Sunday to all of you. It is December the 15th. That means we're 10 days away from Christmas. It also means it is game day. Yes, got our Chiefs and Browns pregame live chat going on right now. So appreciate you guys waking up with me. We don't usually do pregame live chats this early because the Chiefs, well, they don't play a lot of noon games, but they're going to have a couple in the next couple of games. In fact, today, next Saturday, and Christmas. So it'll be a very interesting. Here we go. It is the 3 games in 11-day stretch that we all were talking about in the offseason when the schedule came out, and now it is happening. But the Chiefs, if they can have some, if they can get a little bit of help from other teams, they could probably play their starters in just 2 of those 3 games. We'll see how the Chiefs want to play this one out. Excuse me. I kind of wonder, I don't think the Chiefs will do this, but I kind of wonder if the Chiefs will rest the starters anyway against Pittsburgh because it's a short week, and even if they don't have the 1 seed locked up, might as well rest the starters, almost treat that like a bye week, because there's a big gap between week 17 and week 18 for the Chiefs, because the Chiefs play on a Wednesday for week 17. I don't know. Probably Steve says we are all Lions fans. Yes, Lions fans and Eagles fans. I think the Steelers will win, but I don't think, I mean, the Steelers one, that's not as big of a deal to me, though it would help. But the Bills one, that's more significant, I think. You got to find a way to create a little bit of a gap there. You can't really do anything about it other than get help from other teams. The Rams did you a massive solid last week, and that block punt ended up being a big difference maker. So if the Lions come through, and by the way, I think the Bills defense got exposed in that football game. I think a lot of people looked at the Buffalo Bills defense and saw there are some things you can do against that Buffalo team offensively. So the Lions are going to do a lot of the same thing the Rams did, except I think the Lions are much better about that than the Rams. So if the Rams put up 44, what could the Lions put up here? So we'll see. There are going to be 2 great 325 games, and it's just a shame neither one of those games are Sunday night football games. But all right, got a lot of people joining the live stream, so let's talk about this game here between the Chiefs and the Rams. Obviously, a lot of people talking about Myles Garrett and the fact that the Chiefs are back to what could be Wanya Morris. First of all, here's my prediction for this game. I think Wanya Morris is going to start the game, and if he struggles, I think they'll take him out of the game, shift Tooney from guard to left tackle, and put Mike Caliendo in there at left guard. We saw that that order of operation for just 3 snaps a couple of weeks ago. That was it, though. That was it. So I'm not sure what the Chiefs want to do in terms of who they want at left tackle today. This is going to be kind of an out of left field answer. I would not mind Kingsley Suamata-Ia playing today for the sole reason that, and I know we keep saying this and it doesn't happen, run the damn ball. Go run heavy in this one. Why? A couple of reasons why you should do it today. Number one, you have Myles Garrett. You want to know how you stop a really good pass rusher? You run the football. I'm not saying the Chiefs are never going to pass in this game. I mean, you have to. You have to do some things to you got to mix it up. You can't just run the entire game, but you got to go at least run heavy, you would think, to silence Myles Garrett. That's one good way to make him have a quiet football game. Another reason why you should go run heavy in this game is because of the expected weather. Yes, I shaved my goatee. Yes, I did. Yeah, no, it's really me. You know, it's really funny. My face recognition on my iPhone does not recognize me. So I gotta fix that shit. But yes, I did shave my goatee. With the weather today, you got to run the football. Absolutely got to run the football. Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco, they got a little bit more involved together as a duo. Kareem Hunt had a couple of fewer carries last Sunday night. I did not like that compared to last Friday's game, or the Friday before, rather. I did not like that. And part of it is run the damn ball, especially on third and short situations, man. Look, I trust the Chiefs will eventually get the deep pass game going, but you don't have it right now. So on third and short, go run the football. The Chiefs shied away from it in the second quarter and in the third quarter last week. And then late in the third quarter and in the fourth quarter, you saw them run the ball more, and it was far more effective. You'll obviously throw them off. You had that play action on third down where Mahomes made a defender miss and then found Kelsey wide open for that massive first down to essentially win the game. Obviously, he still needed the field goal, which the Chiefs got in dramatic fashion. But I think I just think at the end of the day, like, the Chiefs overcomplicate things, and they've got no one to blame for that but themselves. Don't overcomplicate things. There's no reason to do that. No, this may not be the Chiefs team we thought it was going to be, even with all these injuries. I think the expectation is that they can still do better than this. And you're not seeing that at the moment. But at the very least, go out there and run the football, because that'll help change things. You got to adjust. And the Chiefs, they've certainly been running the ball more than they usually do, but you still see them kind of shy away from it in situations where they shouldn't. I still stand by the criticism I had of Kelsey for one play against the Raiders, where he just completely whiffed on the block. They didn't even make an effort to block, and that forced Mahomes to get rid of the ball faster than he wanted to. Could not step up in the pocket to hit Worthy down the field for an easy first down to end the game, maybe a touchdown if he wants to run it in, but you got to run the football. So in Friday's game against the Raiders a couple of weeks ago, when Isaiah Pacheco came back, both Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco ran the ball 7 times each. Do the simple math there. It's 14. So they combined for 14 carries. Last week's game, you saw them run more. They combined for 19 carries. Pacheco had 14 carries, I believe it was, and Kareem Hunt had 5. So not a big fan of Kareem Hunt's numbers going down. I get Isaiah Pacheco's the guy, but you know, you got 2 good running backs there. Utilize both of them. And I know Kareem Hunt, since his return to Kansas City, we haven't seen Kareem Hunt go for that big home run play. I think his biggest run with the Chiefs might be like 9 or 8 yards. So it's nothing too big. You're not getting the home run rushes from Kareem Hunt. Maybe that gets there eventually. I don't know. Again, I do like Kingsley Suamataia. I'm not opposed if they want to have Wanya Morris and then have some packages where you have Kingsley in there as an extra offensive lineman. You want to run the ball and do it against a team that can't play well defensively? This is the team to do it against. Go out there and put Kingsley in there. Maybe let him get a little of a confidence swagger back into him, because right now, I mean, the guy's second round pick, a guy you traded up one spot to get, and he's been awful for you this year. Let him kind of have a feel-good game, I guess, by putting him in there for some snaps. Just my thought. I don't think the Chiefs will do that, but because I think Kingsley Suamataia is a great run blocker. Again, I know we haven't seen a lot of him in games this year, but in the games we have seen him, his run blocking has actually been good for the Chiefs. So I'd like to see that. What I want to know your guys' score prediction. I see a couple of you guys putting your scores out there, and I'll read those in a moment there. Yeah, no, I didn't lose a bet. You're like the second person to ask me this. My family asked me this when I FaceTimed them this morning. They're like, what the fuck? I'm like, no, there was no bet. But yeah, just run the football. I think it's going to be a low scoring game. I'm going 17-13 Kansas City. That is my score prediction. I think if the Chiefs decide to run the ball more, like they run the ball 20, maybe even 30 times, I can see the Chiefs surpassing 20 points in this game. So I'd be very curious to see what the game plan is going into this game and what Andy Reid's going to do with the running game, because you've got 2 good running backs there. So go use them. And by the way, here's another thing. Before I read all of you guys' comments for the score predictions, you know what's going to really matter in this football game? Third down. And I know I say it a lot because it's a big deal. Third down is a huge deal in the NFL. But the Chiefs, they have the best third down offense in the NFL. They convert on third down more than any other team. It's been that way almost all year long. The Browns, the complete opposite. They are the worst third down offense in the NFL. So if the Chiefs defense and Josh Williams look like he's going to play, because I guess there was some concern he wouldn't, but he was not on the injury report this week. But if the Chiefs can go out there and play good defense and not allow Jameis Winston to find open receivers, which he's been able to do this year, you'll be able to get some stops on third down. And I think that the sack production can come back a little bit more. You saw it a little bit last week, which was a good step towards that direction. Let's take it up a notch a bit, because Cleveland does have some weaknesses on that offensive line. And I bring up the weaknesses of opposing teams' offensive lines every week, but you don't see the Chiefs utilize, like George Karlaftis. I like Karlaftis, but he's not having that big third season that I think he should be having. And I don't know how much of it has to do with the weak coverage where quarterbacks are finding guys, because the pressures have been there from the Chiefs defensive line. I get comments from people, and I see them on Twitter and Instagram. People are saying, why are the Chiefs not getting sacks? Why is Chris Jones not doing anything? Well, I don't think that's a fair question. If that's how you want to ask things, you're obviously not watching the games. Or at least look at some of these stats that are out there, because the Chiefs are getting pressure on opposing quarterbacks. The sack production just isn't there. I know a pressure and a sack. Some people will look at a pressure with a glass half empty and say, "Oh, a pressure is an almost sack." Okay, I mean, yeah, it is. It essentially is. But sometimes those almost sacks can turn into ill-advised passes that lead to turnovers. So it just kind of depends how good your defense is in trying to take advantage of quarterbacks getting rid of the football before getting snapped. So, all right, score predictions here. 24-18 from Eric. 17-6 from Steve. Yeah, I'm saying 17 points also. Josh is going 23-17, 24-17, 25-17. Okay, a lot of similar scores here. Doug says, 42-7, but then says no, 2017. Yeah, that's more realistic. 17-13. Yeah, that's what I'm going with. 26-14. That's okay. All right. So I think a lot of people, there are some people who are optimistic and think the Chiefs will score in the 20s. If you're thinking that, you probably have the line of thinking that the Chiefs are going to run the football more often. That might be the thought process there. I don't know. I'm not convinced Andy Reid will do that. I'd like for him to. But you just don't know if he's going to do that for sure. And that's I think what concerns a lot of people when they look at the Kansas City Chiefs offensively and how they run things. By the way, here's another thing I want to point out here, because I'm seeing this every week. A lot of people are blaming Matt Nagy for some of the, I guess, the lack of committing to the run. Why are we blaming Matt Nagy? And look, I'm not a Nagy defender. I'm not a fan of Nagy's particularly, but what is it with this fan base where when things work, who do we credit for being able to make it work? I mean, Mahomes, Kelsey, sure, but everyone goes to Andy Reid. Everyone gives a lot of kudos to Andy Reid for designing these plays and finding a way to make it all work. But when things don't work, everybody blames Eric Bieniemy or Matt Nagy, whoever the offensive coordinator is. Obviously, it was Bieniemy for several years, and now it's Matt Nagy. I don't get it. You can't blame Matt Nagy when things are not working, and then when things are working, give all the credit to Andy Reid. Like that, come on, man. We got to be consistent with that kind of a thing. People did this with Bieniemy before he left Kansas City also. Like, I don't get it. Who's calling the plays? I mean, I don't know. I guess it's Andy Reid, but we have seen Bieniemy. I don't think we've seen this with Nagy much, but we've seen Bieniemy on the sidelines. He's covering his face with the play sheet. And he's got a lot to say on that headset, because in between plays, they'll show, like, if the Chiefs offense is on the field against, let's just say, the Raiders defense, they'll show the Chiefs offensive coordinator, and then they'll show the Raiders defensive coordinator a lot. Whenever they would show Bieniemy, you would see Bieniemy saying a lot in that headset. You don't get that often with Nagy. So I'm always curious what the communication is like. I've always wondered what it's like to have those headsets on. I've heard it can be chaos because there's a lot of communication. I've actually heard some coaches say that if you do not need to speak, then don't speak at all, because there's a lot going on with the conversations and the headsets. But I don't know. It's something that I've always wondered, but I just kind of wonder with the Chiefs. See, Tommy says it's Andy Reid's world. Nagy's just living in it. I've always said that Andy Reid's the offensive coordinator. He's the play caller, and the actual offensive coordinator, the person who has the title of offensive coordinator with the Chiefs, they're more of the enforcer. They help run the offense that Andy Reid asks for. That's how I've always viewed it. So I don't know. There are a lot of different opinions about this and what the Chiefs are doing and how they operate, but I don't know. I just wanted to put that out there. I know some of you guys have kind of been in this situation where some people blame Nagy, some people blame Reid. It's like a majority of the people are blaming Nagy when things don't work. I don't know. I'm not for. Hey, by the way, real quickly, social media content, podcast content has been awesome. Even on vacation. Appreciate the team that's been putting out a majority of the posts. I had a few of them, but the admins have been taking care of the social media while I was on vacation. So big thanks to all of those guys who took care of that, and all of you guys who have commented, reacted, shared all the posts, viewing the videos. I greatly appreciate all of you guys, because the social media is just growing at a really fast pace. We've already surpassed 21,000 followers just this season, since the day the Chiefs kicked off against the Ravens. I still remember when we had 21,000 in a year, new followers, that is, on Facebook. So I really do appreciate you guys, all the content. We reached 118,000 followers last week. Guys, we're less than 100 of surpassing 119. So please invite your friends. If you go on my page, go to the About section. There should be a little link that says invite your friends. Please do that. Take a moment just to invite some of your friends, especially if you think they'll enjoy all the Chiefs and football content on this page. That would be greatly appreciated. And I know you guys have been doing that because the numbers are out there. It is at an all-time high. You guys are awesome. This is by far the best season ever when it comes to the podcast, all the content, and the total engagement we've had. We've never had it this high before. It is, when you look at the amount, it is if you want a percentage rate, it is hundreds of times bigger than what it was. Hundreds. Yes, that much bigger than it has been in years past. So I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but that's just what I know. So yeah, appreciate all of you guys. You guys are awesome. So thank you guys for doing that all year long. We did the giveaway last night. Gonna start a new one tonight, so be on the lookout for that. Yeah, just because it's the holidays doesn't mean we're gonna stop. We'll still have giveaways and all that stuff. Let's see what giveaways do we have. I have this. We still have a few more of these bags here. I've had a lot of people who've won these. They really like those. By the way, for those asking how many of those do I have, a lot. We're actually starting to run out of those. In the off season, we are gonna have a couple of. So we gave away. Where was it? This one's mine, but there it is. The Santa Funko Pop. We just gave these away to 2 people. That was a lot of fun. We do have more Funko Pops, though. They're on the way. In fact, they're right here. This will probably be more of an off-season thing. So here's a Travis Kelce Funko Pop. We got 3 of these we'll give away. One on Facebook, one on Twitter or X, and one on Instagram. And then we have 2 different Mahomes Funko Pops. We have this one in the full red without the helmet. We'll be doing that. And then there's another one. It's not the full red, and he's got the helmet. That is the other Mahomes Funko Pop. So if I can put them all on the screen at the same time, this could be good. This could be bad. Yeah, there you go. Those are the 3 Funko Pops we'll give away in the off season. So, I understand not everyone's on. Okay, so people keep asking, why do I not do many Facebook giveaways? So let me just, that's actually a good question. I answer this a lot and people still keep asking. The reason we don't do a lot of Facebook giveaways, and let me just preface this. I do see other people do Facebook giveaways. Some people get caught, some people don't. You are not allowed to ask people to comment below on Facebook. For whatever reason, Instagram, which is owned by the same company as Facebook, they're cool with it on Instagram to, comment below and tag 3 friends, blah, 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 that kind of thing. But on Facebook, they are on top of shit. I don't get it. They're owned by the same company. So that is why we will do Relina. I hope I said your name right. We will still do Facebook giveaways, just not as often. These I do have. I have 3 of each of these Funko Pops I just showed. The 2 different Mahomes ones and the Kelsey one. So be on the lookout for that because we will have that. Yeah, Kelsey breaking the franchise record in his hometown. That'd be fitting. That would be fitting for sure. I know he was frustrated he didn't get it a couple of weeks ago on Black Friday against the Raiders because he had a lot of family in town. And then would have been more fitting to have last Sunday night because there was a primetime game, but couldn't do it that night either. Maybe he does it today in his hometown. Kelsey's only had 2 touchdowns on the season. It's been a very quiet year for him in terms of the touchdown production, but overall production, though, again, people forget with Kelsey, he's not having that terrible of a season that people want to make it out to be. I mean, is he the Travis Kelsey of old? No, definitely not. But in terms of overall, he's 6th in the NFL in catches. He's got 80. He's tied with Trey McBride, another tight end. And by the way, when you look across the board, there are not a lot of tight ends that get involved often. The yardage, yeah, it's not there, 682 yards, but I think among tight ends, I mean, how many tight ends have more yards than Kelsey right now? You have Brock Bowers, George Kittle, Trey McBride, Jonnu Smith by just 10 yards, and then Travis Kelsey. So Travis Kelsey is in the top 5 when it comes to receiving yards, and he has the second most receptions among all tight ends. So again, it's always interesting when people have this narrative about Kelsey and how bad he is. You're obviously not paying attention if you think he's having a bad year. Is he as great as he was before? No, absolutely not. But he's still delivering on a level better than most tight ends right now, by far. Okay, so we'll end it right there. I'm Farzin Vasugian. Thank you all for joining me for this pregame live chat. Reminder, halftime live stream once the first half concludes. After the game, we will do the Chiefs Film podcast live. Your video calls, I'll have the links. I was on vacation last week, so we couldn't do that kind of thing last week, but we will have it today after the game. I'll have the video link for you guys to call in. Just click on the link, turn on your audio, your video, put in your name, and we will chat it up. Otherwise, if you're camera shy and don't want to call in, that's fine too. You can always just comment below in the chat on Facebook and on YouTube, and we can talk that way as well. All right, guys, I'm Farzin Vasugian. Appreciate you guys joining me for this episode of the pregame live chat. I'll talk to you all later.